So thanks everyone for coming out tonight. My name is Javier Morillo. I am president of Local 26 of the Service Employees Union, and working with community allies and such, we put together this celebration tonight, which is both very special and at the same time, I'm going to say it's not every day that there's a community celebration for a governor's appointment to a commission, but this case is very different because it's not every day that a governor appoints a minimum wage worker to a commission that oversees an area that has a direct impact on his life and that of his coworkers. It is a historic appointment because it's the first time with Ibrahim Mohamed's appointment that an East African and a Somali American is appointed to the Metropolitan Airports Commission. Historic, yes. And that is particularly important because if anyone who's traveled Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport knows that not only do people from all over the world come in and out and travel through the airport, but the folks who keep the airport working themselves come from all over the world. We have SEIU Local 26 represents the janitors who clean inside the airport, and our members, the 4,200 janitors who work across the Twin Cities, come from all over the world, speak multiple languages. Our member meetings are always translated into at least 3 or 4 languages. And that's what our airport is, and so it's just so incredibly important. Mr. Mohamed's appointment was such a clear signal that the governor sent about the importance of workers' voices, but also the voices of all the communities that the airport serves. And the airport serves not just the clients, the flyers, the travelers, but the airport also serves all of the people who go to work there. And so we are incredibly grateful, and that's why we put this evening together. So we have a few speakers tonight. The governor should be arriving shortly, but first, we wanted folks to hear from some of Ibrahim's coworkers at the airport. People who, again, toil every day, and these workers have been fighting for quite some time to improve their working conditions at the airport. Abdi Ali and Misrak Ambere, if you could come up.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Abdi Ali, and I work at the airport for the last 7 years. And I first want to congratulate Abraham and his wife, because this was victory for workers. This is our voice, and this is someone who will represent us. Abraham can put our shoes on because he knows our daily life is and how our situation is. He's working there 11 years, and we struggle like getting paid for minimum wages. I mean, poor conditions. So Ibrahim is going to be not only for the good commissioner, but it's going to be also workers' voice. So this is going to be good for the workers, for the community, and for also the airport client. So this is, I'm so excited, and I want to thank for the governor, for the appointed for Abraham. So that's all I want to say tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good evening. Today I'm glad to be here to talk about Mr. Ibrahim. I'm glad he's nominated as one of the commissioners because he's part of us, he's our co-worker, he knows everything, our problem, and he's a minimum wage earner like all of us. And I'm glad to say again, he's nominated, and hopefully he'll be successful, I hope. So thank you for the governor who appointed one of our co-workers who knows our problem, who stands in our shoes, and we hope that things may be improved. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right, so we have lots of great turnout. Hello, Governor. We wanted to give a little shout out to some folks who are here. Representing Mayor Hodges, who could not be here tonight, is Abdirahman Muse, who's there in the back. Thank you for being here. Jailani Hussein is from CARE, Minnesota. The executive director is here. Saeed Ali, School Board District, the 3rd District is here. Mr. Ali, thank you for being here. Jibril Afieri, Somali Citizen League Director, is here. And from the Metropolitan Airports Commission, Commissioner Erica Prosser is here. Okay. Mahmoud Noor from Somali Federation of Minnesota, and office here, right here. Abdirizak Bihi, I believe is here, community leader, Somali community leader. From also the Metropolitan Airports Commission, the Executive Vice President, Denny Probst, is here. Is that? Yeah. And the MAX General Counsel, Tom Anderson. Also, Paul Slattery from the Teamsters, representing other airport workers there. And next up, I wanted to bring up the Imam of Abu Bakr community, Sheikh Abdirahman Ahmed Sheikh Omar. Okay.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم أجمعين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My name is Imam Abdirahman Ahmed. I am the Imam of Abu Bakr Islamic Center and the head of the NACSI organization. It's a nationwide organization for the Somali community. I'm very glad to be here for the nomination of Ibrahim Mohamed as one of the commissioners of the airport. And it's very important to nominate. It shows that Ibrahim qualifies to be a commissioner, and we have many talents. We have, for the community, we have PhD people. We have, even though we are immigrants, but we have our experience from back home and came here, and they can be capable of doing big responsibility in this country, and that's why we are waiting to have more nominations. I thank Governor Dayton, who knows the Somali community more than anybody else, and we thank as imams for nomination of Ibrahim Mohamed. I congratulate also Ibrahim Mohamed being the commissioner. And thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And the chair of the Metropolitan Airports Commission could not be here, but the vice chair of the commission, Lisa Peelan, is here. Commissioner Peelan.
Thank you. Oven, who is out of town this evening, and the rest of the MAC Board of Commissioners, I want to say how pleased and delighted we are to welcome Ibrahim Mohamed to the board. The MAC and its airports have many stakeholders: the people of Minnesota, the traveling public, businesses from throughout the region, the companies that operate at the airport, and last but not least, the 20,000 people like Commissioner Mohamed who work at the airport day in and day out to serve our airport customers. We haven't had anyone from that perspective on the commission until now, and we will all be the better for it. Commissioner Mohamed has held a number of positions in the airport and brings that direct perspective of airport and airline operations to the MAC board. As an employee of AirServe, Commissioner Mohamed interacts directly with the traveling public, helping ensure people who are elderly or disabled can navigate our very large terminal facilities and make their flights on time. He also brings a unique cultural perspective to the board, in that thousands of people from East Africa work at the airport and travel through our facilities. And having moved to America from Somalia, Commissioner Mohamed understands the challenges immigrants face and what they need in order to be successful in their airport careers and in their travels through MSP. And if I may add on a personal note, it's not only very exciting to be here to celebrate the appointment of a Somali American, it's very moving and it's very important. So I'm very honored to be here tonight to welcome Commissioner Mohamed to the board. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner. And as others have said, right, Commissioner Mohamed is not only the first Somali American, but the first East African to serve on the board. And this is, I can tell you from that it has been broadly thought of from workers of all ethnicities and all backgrounds at the MAC. Everyone is talking about, wow, there's a MAC commissioner who's a worker. And a leader of the Ethiopian community is our next speaker, Haile Michael Mucheso.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Haile Michael Mucheso. I'm representing the Ethiopian Center Association. I'm very happy to see Governor Dayton and all the community from Minnesota, especially my coworkers from the airport. At this time, I'm a teacher at St. Paul Public High School. I know Ibrahim Mohamed. He's an excellent person. He knows the problem of the workers, and he is an intellectual. So I'm very happy to inform the willingness of, the happiness of, the heartfelt happiness of the Ethiopian community concerning his appointment to be the member of the MAC in the airport. He knows. And in this point, what I would like to thank is Governor Dayton for appointing him, and he understands the problem of the co-workers over there, and he works for the community as a whole. And other point is, I would like to inform Ibrahim Mohamed. He's an excellent guy. I believe that he will be the voice for the voiceless in the airport. I know there are a lot of problems. I know that there are a lot of problems in the airport. I have worked over there for over 7 years, and at this time I'm not there. My families are working over there. The problem is there, a lot of problems are over there. So therefore, please stand for them, and we would like to work with all community who fights for the rights for their right. Fighting for their right is very important. I was a teacher in Ethiopia for 19 years. There was an Ethiopian association called ETA, which was formed in 1941. They get the legal status after 15 years of fight. So fighting for your right, standing for your right, is very important to help him and all other commissioners in the airport. So you need to support them. That's all. Thank you very much. I wish you to work hard.
Next up, we'll ask Commissioner Mohamed to come up. I'll just say that I think everyone was pleasantly surprised by the enormous amount of press attention that this appointment got. At the same time, many people remarked to me, and we thought, "Wow, like it shouldn't be so weird. It shouldn't be so strange that a worker be represented on a board." But I know that Mr. Mohamed has gotten press requests from literally all over the world, right? Done interviews, television, radio, print, and online, and he's taking it like a champ. I know there's a lot of stress and it's a little overwhelming, but everyone please welcome our new commissioner to the Metropolitan Airports Commission, Ibrahim Mohamed.
First of all, I'm going to start with the name of Allah and say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Other than that, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be with you here. I'm thanking you to come in here. Secondly, can you hear me? Secondly, I want to thank the Governor Mark Dayton, who given me and my community as an East African this great opportunity and nominated me to be one of the commissioners. Thank you, Mr. Governor. After that, I want to talk a little bit about my background or about myself to introduce you. Tonight, it's not just, it's all about the celebrating. I will let you know a little bit myself. I'm the father of 5 kids. I'm living with my lovely wife who lives with me. I'm living with the North Dakota County
I came here 2004 in the United States. As many immigrants, I came here to change my life and to get a better life, run away from the civil war or what's going on at that time in my country. And I hope I succeeded what I needed, so alhamdulillah. I work at the airport, and this is my first work I got in the United States. I've been working for almost 11 years. I started in 2005 up to now. I did a lot of different positions, like a baggage runner or ticket verifier. I did a lab and water. I work at the RAM as a cabinet cleaner and customer assistance, and now I'm a car driver, which I'm happy to be, because I'm helping a lot of people who need my help. And just like elderly people or disabled persons. I work 5 days, and every day maybe I help more than 80 passengers, going from gate to gate or need a help from traveling outside to the baggage claim. And always I ask, what about this airport? They told me it's a great airport. It's one of the best airports in the nation. And so there are a lot of people working at the airport, and they are very hard workers, and they do a good job. But the main message I have tonight is the people who are working with the minimum wage. I can feel what the minimum wage and what the struggle is, because I'm a minimum wage worker. I work at $8 per hour. And I've been more than 11 years with the minimum wage. Though I'm still happy, but because the job I'm doing right there, that's what I choose. Nobody forced me to do it. But I'm happy to help the people who needs me to help. So the message I have to raise the voice of the workers until they get a better wage. Because absolutely just like me, I got 5 kids, as I told you, it's very hard to raise a kid or a family with a minimum wage $8. Everything, if you see the car food everywhere, the price is high, the food is high. So this is a little bit very hard to live with the minimum wage. So that's why I'm standing up and to represent the airport workers and my community. So I'm requesting you, all of you, to help me. I can't do anything by myself, but I need your help to work with me to lift up the community. I forgot to thank my commissioners. There are a few people from the airport commissioners who welcomed me very well and working with me and still doing a good job for me. Thank you very much, the commissioners. And thank you again, Mr. Dayton. That's what I would like to say tonight. Thank you very much.
Mohamed, like I said, we've heard from so many workers at the airport, not just East African workers especially, but everyone is so proud that a worker is on the Metropolitan Airports Commission. And I will say, as I said, that there's been a lot of press attention to this, this appointment. And a lot of people have asked me, well, how did this happen? And Ibrahim is part of a group of workers that's been working to join SEIU for a long time, and a few people congratulated me and said, well, that was, that was really smart of you to recommend. And let me just say how this happens by way of introducing Governor Dayton. We, like many stakeholders in the community, always, like for any appointments, make recommendations and hope that that elected officials might listen. And as we were trying to recruit people to apply to be on the Metropolitan Airports Commission, and the governor's staffer in December called me and said, I talked to the governor and he's particularly interested. He really wants a worker to be on the Metropolitan Airports Commission. And I want you to know that story because it's a little embarrassing to me, because I'm a labor leader. And essentially what the governor was saying to me, I felt, was you should step up your game in terms of your creativity and who you suggest that we appoint to the Metropolitan Airports Commission. And I think it came, I know, from the heart. The governor's office did absolutely nothing to generate press on this, meaning that, he just made the appointment. we sent out a press release, and there was enormous attention. I say that because this came from the governor's heart. It was not to make it was not to get good press for himself. That happened to turn out that way. But I just think it's just so important that people know that our governor. This came from our governor. Because he knows the importance of workers being represented on bodies that make decisions that affect those workers. So thank you, Governor Dayton. And
well, thank you, Javier, and thank you. You're too modest. Your role in finding and identifying Commissioner Mohamed is really crucial to this. And the legislature doesn't make it easy to appoint people. They have to follow certain geographical lines. So we had to find someone who was not only a worker, which is my desire, but also somebody who lived in a certain wedge of the area where you live. And so it's our good fortune that you chose to live there, because that's a prerequisite for my appointing you. Commissioner Mohamed, that sounds very good. And you'll be... And I appreciate, whatever good publicity may come my way. Politicians always appreciate good publicity when they rarely get it. But, I also fault myself because I've been governor for 4 years. And I made appointments to the Metropolitan Airports Commission Board previously, and this is overdue. It's overdue before I arrived, and it's overdue now that I'm in my 5th year as governor, and I regret that and apologize for that. And, I go in and out of the airport frequently, and it's a well-run airport by my experience and by all measures. Won national awards and international awards, and so Mr. Hamill and all of his hardworking staff and others do overall a very, very good job, and I want to acknowledge that and thank them for that. But as I learned more, and we had some meetings last December with representatives of some of the workers in the airport, I realized that the airport was really falling short of its responsibility to you and your co-workers. And as I learned more that you were a couple of years ago working at $12.50 an hour and now at minimum wage, thank goodness the legislature passed and I signed an increase in the minimum wage. And, it means this August you'll be working at $9 an hour, and a year after that, $9.50 an hour, and that's not enough, but it's better than what it was before. And anybody who says that the increase in the minimum wage was wrong for Minnesota should talk to you and talk to your co-workers and find out what a difference it makes for you and your families. Raising 5 kids on $8 an hour is wrong. To be forced to do that is wrong. And there's some, small business people out there in the state for whom it's a hardship, and I acknowledge that, and I regret that, but I don't regret that an entity like the Metropolitan Airports Commission has to pay a living wage, closer to a living wage, not a living wage, but closer to a living wage, and the state's requiring that of the people that are contracted through Delta under the auspices of the MAC. To do what they should have done before anyway, and I pledge that I will redouble my efforts and do whatever I can to support your efforts and the board of the Airports Commission to improve the working conditions, to improve the wages. Delta's runs a tough ship, and now they're running a very profitable ship. And the way in which these satellite companies have been designed and evolved so that you're not working for Delta, but you are, or you're working for the MAC. It's just it's complicated, but it's with the intent of and clearly the effect of keeping salaries down and keeping you subjected to very difficult conditions that That shouldn't be the case in what is essentially, in my view, a public entity. You know, we hear sometimes, well, if you raise wages, the company's going to move to South Dakota or to Mexico or China. Well, the airport's not going to move. The airport's going to be there, and the airport's going to function with a scale of operation that it has now because of this thriving state. And so without you and your co-workers, that airport isn't going to function. Without you, old guys like me with canes aren't going to get from one place to another. They're not going to get the airplanes are not going to be groomed. The baggage isn't going to be handled. It's not going to function. So it's so vitally important that you and the other members of the board really focus on the working conditions at that airport and the way in which these companies, which are private companies, and under, again, I don't know all the details, but under the auspices of contracts with Delta, but the bottom line is they work at the leave of, and with the permission of, and at the authority, under the authority of the Metropolitan Airports Commission. That is a public building. That is a public entity. It represents the people of Minnesota. And there's no reason that some private company should be able to impose their conditions and their will on the people that are working there who are, as I said before, under the authority of the people of Minnesota. And while I think the board has done an excellent job in many respects, I've expressed to others previously, and I say it again here, that this is unacceptable. It's wrong for Minnesotans. It's wrong for you and your family. And the board has got to take the responsibility, and I will assist in any way I can to change these circumstances, to change these conditions, and to make that airport something that we're all proud of, because it represents our values as Minnesotans, as well as the hard work of all of you. So you have my support, and I'll do whatever I can. Thank
you. Governor Dayton, give me one second. Governor, your achievement and your governorship speaks, your job, your tangible job speaks volume. Raised minimum wage, you just said it. You signed equal pay. You funded you funded K-12 through taxes and whatnot. 5th highest job growth in the nation, not to mention the surplus, 1.9 or 2 billion or million? Billion. Let's give him a hand. This nomination of Commissioner Mohamed, I like the sound of that, Commissioner Mohamed. Can we all say Commissioner Mohamed?
Commissioner Mohamed.
It's a milestone for our community. It's a milestone for our nation. It's the milestone for yourself and for all of us. And I also would like to yield to the director.
I think you have said. I would like to congratulate Commissioner Mohamed and the Governor Mark Dayton. You have been an extraordinary, and we thank you for your leadership. And we are very proud to say that we are Minnesotan, and you are the finest governor in the United States.
Thank you.
I would like to recognize Mr. Abdinur Barkat, who is a tireless advocate. And I do have a letter of acknowledgement from U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar. He has been an active and he has been a champion for workers' rights. And we are very glad to have him, and I want to thank him. I want to also thank his organization, and he has done a great job. So this is...